Hello, everyone. Back with more on Mix 1041 and MixTV.tv. We're joined by Jay Hagee and Tanner Hortzmeyer with Allon Planning Partners. Guys, how are you?
Good.
We are doing great, Steve.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right into the middle of summer here, so we're enjoying life.
It is unbelievable.
It's been a cooler summer.
Yeah, it has
It's been a
been.
cooler summer for sure.
You said cool summer. You didn't say cruel summer by Bananarama. Is that,
Cool summer.
No, not cruel.
yeah, Jay
Cool.
and I can sing that
I
for you
know
if you'd
this
like.
song. Yeah.
All right. So, well, hey, thanks for coming back again.
Absolutely.
And you know, we're going off of a couple of topics that you've been talking about on your hour-long program, which of course we feature here on Mix 1041 and Talk 1013 The Buzz. But one of those, and Jay, I want to begin with you. As folks get closer to retirement, there's a couple of things about this. Number one, how can they make sure that they can retire when they want to?
Sure.
If they've got a certain age in mind. Or, then there's another one here. How can people maybe retire faster? You know what? I don't want to hang with it that long, you know?
And I've met with many folks over the last couple of weeks that actually said, "Hey, can you get me to this retirement date faster?" Like, you know, and here's what I tell people: you can't just walk in one day and say, "I want to retire.
Yay,
I'm
it's
out."
over.
You know,
Yeah.
it's over. Like, you have to have a plan. You know, I don't know if you've ever watched The Office, a TV show. You
I
know,
watch
you
it
got-
every night before bed.
Well, that's a good one. Yeah,
I really
yeah.
do.
So there's you'll know this episode. There's an episode where Michael Scott is having money troubles, right? And
Yeah.
he comes out and he says, "I declare bankruptcy." And they're like, you cannot declare bankruptcy, and that's not how it works, Michael. And that's what I want to tell folks today that's listening about retirement planning. You can't just walk out and say, "I declare retirement." And I think that's the biggest goal that I want people to see is like you have to have a plan, and so that plan's very specific to you and your situation. And like if you are just going off what your 401k says or what a big box retail firm is telling you when it comes to investment advice, you're missing it on retirement. And so you want to make sure that you're meeting with a fiduciary advisor like us that are independent, don't work for anyone except our clients. And we can help you declare retirement in the right timing, right? Because the first thing we want to look at is how are you positioned right now to hit those goals? How are you actually going to hit the goals that you want to hit based on your assets and how they're positioned, and then your debt load, and like how can we make sure that you have a budget that works through retirement, right? We got to start there. Have an income plan, making sure that you are going to be able to get the money appropriately as you retire without running out of money, right? So there has to be a plan. We can't just declare retirement at any date. We have to meet. We have to be specific. We have to be intentional about planning, and it does take time, but we can get you there quicker if you have a plan versus I'm just going to retire at some random date.
One of the things we talk about is the fact that this isn't our parents or grandparents' retirement of old, where
is true.
92% of plans used to be pension plans.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Not that
Anymore.
long ago either.
Yeah,
like
it's
30
not-
years ago.
It's not been that long, and so now statistically only about 7% of plans are pension plans.
That's right.
Whereas before you had nothing to worry about. You just got your check from your employer and
right.
you'd live off
Social
that
Security?
and your Social Security
That was
and
it.
maybe some extra savings. Whereas now there's way more planning because everything is left up to us. How are we positioned in our 401ks? How are we positioned in our IRAs? What type of risk are we taking? When should we take Social Security? How should we take Social Security? All of these types of conversations that we're having to have and the planning that goes around it is extremely important so that you can reach your financial goals of, financial security, not running out of money, those types of things.
We're joined by Jay Hagee, Tanner Hortzmeyer. Boy, you got me with the office.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's the truth.
Dwight Schrute's about to walk in here in a second. Allon Planning Partners, and I've got another question, but before we do that, I know you've probably piqued some interest. How do people get a hold of you, Jay?
Yeah, reach out to us directly, 423-315-1441. If you want to declare retirement, make sure that you have a plan. And so 423-315-1441, we would love to help you create that plan today that's individualistic to you.
I want to go back to something you said, especially declaring retirement, because I would just laugh all day about that. No, the fiduciary part of what you do, because I do think it's extremely important to point this out. You are independent.
That's right.
You are not trying to hit marks or whatever for one company.
Yeah.
Tell us what that means to the client.
It means everything to the client because whether you know it or not, and I usually tell this story a little bit compared to tax planning, but if you walked into the doctor's office for the first time and they didn't ask for your blood pressure or take a temperature check or what medications you were on, and you've never seen this doctor before, it's a new primary care physician, and you go back and you meet the doctor, he doesn't ask you anything about you, he doesn't take any lab work or blood test or anything, he just starts writing you a prescription. That would be an unfiduciary thing to do, right?
Exactly.
That's non-fiduciary. So because he knows nothing about you, a lot of times, whether you know it or not, if you're not working with an independent fiduciary advisor, there's already a prescription written for you before you walk in the office. And so it means everything that you have an individualized plan put together so that you know what prescription that you need to get to the retirement that you want. And so being independent, we don't have anyone over us saying you have to hit these numbers, or we're paying for your light bill, or we're paying for the phone bill that you have this month or whatnot. Our clients do pay us directly. It's a flat fee in order to give them financial advice and plan for them.
Yeah, and another thing I like it, and Tanner, maybe you can speak to this, and Brittany said it before, and Jay has also said it. You guys, we talk about the sides of the table.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of times, we're on one side and the other. No, you guys say you're on the same side of the table. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, that does mean everything, right? Because we're not just trying to push a product, kind of like what Jay was mentioning. If you come and work with someone like us, independent fiduciary, I use the example with clients that I'm talking to. If you're going to a car dealership, and let's say you're going to a Ford dealer, and you've got this checklist of things and these goals that you have, there's almost a guarantee that they're not going to push a Toyota truck on you. Even though the Toyota might be exactly what you're looking for and exactly what you need, they're going to put you into a Ford, and rightly so.
And we're not against any trucks here.
Exactly, right? He drives a Ford, so and so anyway. But the point is and the picture of it is that we, at the end of the day, just want what is ultimately best for our client. If it's a Ford, if it's a Toyota, if it's whatever it is, and it's because of how we get paid, right? So the way that we get paid puts us on the same side of the table because we don't have any conflicts of interest of one or another. It's just ultimately what is in the best interest of our clients.
Yeah.
All right. If that sounds good to you, and I'm sure it does, call Jay Hagee, Tanner Hortsmeyer, of course, Brittany Hagee, all of them at Allon Planning Partners. Jay, how do we get a hold of you, buddy?
423-315-1441, or please reach out on our website, allonplanning.com. You can find a lot of resources there, not just what we're doing here, but like our TV shows and our YouTube channels. You can get a lot of little short videos that help and cover topics that would be relevant to you. allonplanning.com, ALLON planning.com, and that will take you also to get in touch with us directly through our Contact Us page as well.
It's Allon Planning Partners, Jay Hagee, Tanner Hortsmeyer. Again, allonplanning.com. And for our audience, let me spell it for you because most of them are illiterate. ALLON planning.com. I wish we get a close-up of Jay's face when I said that. That was perfect. Wonderful reaction. That'll be a meme later. Trust me. 423-315-1441.
Investment advisory services are offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, Foundations, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The content provided is intended for informational and educational purposes only. The views, statements, and opinions expressed herein are those of the individual speakers and not necessarily those of Foundations and its affiliates. The information contained herein does not constitute an offer to sell any securities or represent an express or implied opinion or endorsement of any specific investment opportunity, offering, or issuer. Any discussion of performance or returns is not indicative of future results. Each individual investor's situation is different, and any ideas provided may not be appropriate for your particular circumstances. Foundations only transacts business in states where it is properly registered or is excluded or exempted from registration requirements. Registration as an investment advisor is not an endorsement of the firm by securities regulators and does not mean the advisor has achieved a specific level of skill or ability. No legal or tax advice is provided. Always consult with a tax professional. All rights reserved.